Hello, welcome to Swiss Watch Gang. As you know, we'd like to introduce you new brands or projects here on this channel, and today is no different. I have three special guests here. The first time I'm here with three people at the table. So this is Barth, Manuel, Emch, and the brand or project is called Kollokium. So thank you guys for coming to Zurich.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Thank you.
And today we'll discuss how this actually came to be, what started it, the mission, and also the mechanics and the development behind this new brand of yours. So
Project.
It's not a brand, it's a project. It says on the packaging, you know. You have the funniest packaging, I think, by the way. That's very straightforward with the box and the tape.
It's box and papers.
Box and papers.
The box is the paper.
Oh man.
So we simplified. It's box paper.
I see a QR code here, so I assume this.
So the box is the paper.
The box is the paper. So
the paper is the box.
Keep the box, huh? So how did you guys, who came up with the idea? What was the spark? Like, because I know you know each other for a long time already. You work on different companies, projects.
So I am designer since actually 2 decades now, mostly working for the watch industry and jewelry industry. And I've been working with Manuel with a few brands already. The brand started and the project started in, even myself, I can't make it. Because the project is turning into a brand now. We have to work. It's not only day, night, and it's not only a night project, it's becoming a day project.
Yeah.
And so I think we all wanted to do something. We all wanted to do something different. We all wanted to bring some fresh air to the industry. I think we are all a bit tired of seeing brand trying to bring things from the past, their past, or the other one's past. On my side, I really wanted to prove that it's possible to make a product which is different, but still looking like a watch.
It's a very affordable price point, if I may say so. Huh? You didn't have like a budget of let's make a $500,000 watch, but let's make something cool, but also that people can afford, you know.
I think it's important, and I think honestly, like for me as a collector, it's much harder to find something that's kind of interesting, original at a lower price point. And I think it's a bigger challenge. Then the higher you go up in price, the bigger your expectations as well. It was really a challenge just to, I think from the beginning already set the kind of, price range we wanted to be in, something that I know like I could buy without having to think too much about. So what was really amazing in the whole experience is just how fluid the whole thing was between the three of us. I mean, I think in the 3 years it took to actually get this ready, the only thing we couldn't agree on is the strap color, but everything else was...
That's why we choose two.
Yeah, that's why we offered two.
We choose not to choose. We choose not to choose.
I felt that we could actually fit very well. And I think it was interesting to start as a trio. Alone is one thing. 2 sometimes is a bit challenging. 3, I think, really stable. I think the fact that I've been working with Barth on a lot of projects, with Emch on other projects, mostly on Louis Vuitton, but not only. And they always challenge me saying, okay, we all do this cool stuff. You all do this cool stuff for others. How about doing something for yourself? And I was like, I'm not sure I want to have my name on the watch. And this is why we still insist on that project idea. Even if it obviously moves into a brand more and more, but the idea was really to do something that we, in our kind of philosophies or companies we were working with or for, could not really do. And I think the really interesting thing is that we have a very similar kind of appreciation when it comes to design, architecture, art, music.
So on that note, how did you guys come up with the name?
The Kollokium is what it is. It's a reunion of 3 specialists doing a project together, debating about the subject. And I think Kollokium really is a summary of what we are.
Yeah. First and foremost, we wanted to Germanize it a little bit.
Which I'm happy about.
Yeah, which I'm the only...
Which I don't understand.
He doesn't understand him neither. I'm the only one who has a bit of legitimacy with the German here.
It's okay, I support
it's okay,
that.
somebody has to.
I'm happy there's some German writing, not always French.
We didn't want to do it Geneva style, we wanted to do it Zurich style. So basically the idea was to Germanize the whole name. So colloquium obviously is a Latin word of meeting, exchanging, thinking about different things. And then we just gave it that little German twist.
And on the back as well, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We made a little summary of the information in English.
The project, just not to forget.
Yeah, exactly. Basically a Swiss-made watch that can get wet.
That says it all.
But we still put hergestellt in der Schweiz, Auflage and so on. Because I thought it was interesting to add what made us a big difference, and Zurich was, because that's
where we hang out.
That's where we hang out.
Yeah.
That's where the 2 of us live, more or less. That's where Emch want to live.
I'm working on it.
He wants to live here since the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always speak about it. So tell us about what's inside the watch, because it says it's a Swiss movement.
So we chose La Jouperet. It's a manufacturer that I've got to know quite intimately over the last 10 years, just working as an independent consulting. And I really have a lot of admiration for how they do things, the scale of it. And honestly, look, today in the market, you don't have that many options in terms of movements, right? I mean, the SW200 from Sindi, that's a great movement. We wanted something a little bit different, a bit more independent as well. Has a pretty good power reserve, 68 hours, which is quite a bit more than your standard kind of automatic base movement. And yeah, we just get along with them. So it made sense to have them involved also in the project.
Sure. And the dial, the talking piece, I think, of the whole watch. I mean,
And the case.
The case too.
and the case as well. But for me, because I was not involved in building this project, the dial really stood up to me. It looks like a cityscape, or every piece is basically inserted.
Exactly. Every piece, the 468 pieces are inserted from the backside, all applied by hand, all filled up with Superluminova by hand.
Yeah.
So it's quite some work.
What's the inspiration behind the dial?
We all came with different kind of mood boards, different kind of things we wanted to draw inspiration from. And funny enough, like not a lot of it came from watchmaking. So besides architecture, I mean, I put in a couple of like Blade Runner references, this kind of dystopic cityscape. And I think for me, where Barth is like, tremendously talented is just taking these very abstract ideas and being able to distill them into something tangible and actually feasible, which took a lot of time to make it feasible, but...
I struggled quite a lot to really transcribe what everybody had in mind into a proper watch, which is important for me. It looks like a watch. It's not like a UFO coming from nowhere. It's really a watch that you can wear, that sits well. It sits well on the wrist.
You can normally read,
and you can normally read
the time.
It's a good benefit to have.
It's better. It's better.
But I think it's really that specific aesthetics that we're all attracted to when it comes to this kind of a post-industrial, concrete, bit of Berlin, bit of music.
Le Corbusier style.
Exactly. So really, one of the strengths of this project is that we have common grounds.
Plus the case you mentioned is also very special.
Yeah, and I think it really fits in with the whole spirit. Because again, it's not that we intentionally went out to look for like, what's missing today in the watch industry.
Which material
but we just felt there's something like for us that was kind of very obviously missing. It's something that's more industrial. Because a lot of watchmaking, and especially in this kind of price segment, it's often, you can have a bit of the look at a fraction of the price, that kind of thing. Where for us, it was like, okay, we need something that's really like different. And I think this whole kind of brutalist, postmodern style was just missing. And the funny thing is this case, I mean, it's 316L stainless steel. As a material, it's nothing too exotic. And yet everybody that sees the watch thinks it's either like titanium or aluminum or some kind of weird alloy. Because as far as I know, there haven't been any stainless steel cases made this way.
No, not that way. So the idea I used is a technique we use in the jewelry industry. It's casting. And it's really perfect for having the positive reference or like popping out instead of being just engraved or lasered or whatever. So it brings something very, very different. Also, we really wanted to keep the case as raw as possible. So this is absolute out from the casting. This one.
This is raw.
This is absolutely raw. And
also nice.
It's also nice. I think it's maybe the only inspiration we took from the industry was actually a texture on a diving watch from the 80s. All the rest is more about super industrial elements where you even see the edges of the casting, and somehow it's what we have here. So first of all, you have to understand what it means, and then you have to translate it to your industry.
Yeah.
Where we got a little bit of a very watchmaking element, very high value perceived, is also the sapphire crystal. It's a very, very complex sapphire crystal, actually.
Domed sapphire crystal, which needs to be really anti-reflective. Looks a bit thicker as well, and with like a step here.
Yeah, there is a bevel.
Less prone to chipping. You don't have
exactly.
A sharp
Yeah, it's better to have it.
And the crown?
I think we all wanted something which is not looking like a basic crown from a watch. And there is a triangle. And
3 founders?
Because we're 3 founders.
Yeah, gotcha. Now I connected, As soon as I asked, I'm like, stupid question.
It's good if you can answer your questions yourself.
Exactly.
Means that the project
is good. We just got that, that's it, And Ahmed also, as collectors, we know that size also matters. And
yeah, definitely.
Sometimes they make a new watch and it's 45 millimeters and thick and all the complications, but it's not comfortable.
No, and here's the funny thing. I mean, you see it today, especially I think in the last 6 to 12 months, where a lot of brands are waking up and realizing, okay, like people are kind of slowly coming back to more compact sizes. But we started this like 2020.
Was it 2020? Oh, yeah,
2020.
Yeah.
I think May 2020, if you want to be precise. I have the first call we did. But,
So 4 years, huh?
Yeah.
Almost.
but proportions are important, and I think again, it's not that we wanted to make a small watch or a big watch. We just wanted a watch that fits our wrist pretty good, because I mean I have pretty girly wrists.
Yeah, yeah, but what's the diameter and the lug to lug approximately?
Lug to lug, I have no idea. So thanks for asking.
Put you on the spot here, but the diameter is
so the diameter of the case is 38.5. And the bottom part of the watch is 14. Yeah.
Okay.
So the bevel, the element here is 14.
Yeah, and the strap is great. Usually brands or projects
We skimped that part.
make it like maybe down the line, but you started with it. So I mean,
Yeah, so we did the like 99 pieces friends and family edition to kind of like slowly get the watches out there. I'm more of a desk job kind of guy, so it was interesting to see them in more kind of extreme settings as well. And the feedback's been great. We didn't anticipate so much also demand for what we're doing, because we're like, okay, it's something that's super niche, super out there.
Yeah.
Not everybody's gonna get it, but I mean, so far, honestly, I can't tell you how many people like write to us on the regular trying to find out when the next one is. I mean, we're a small project, right? So like there's limits to how much we can do, and also like just the amount of time it takes to make these dials. We are limited in how many pieces we can put out. It's not that we want to make limited editions for limited edition's sake, but we want to move fast. So like if we drop a model, it'll be like, you know, limited to 100 or 200 or 199 to be precise. But then we want to move to other things. We already started working on the next project, which, you know, nothing to do with this, but still in the same kind of spirit. And yeah, that's why we call it a project, because it is a lot of experimentation as well. We don't want to get too hung up on one model or one design for too long.
so essentially the second project might not have the same case.
No, will not.
It won't.
Okay, so it's really like the Kollokium is the overarching idea maybe, and
You'll
then
find some,
different projects
You
below.
will find some links between
Yeah.
the project, but it's going to be totally different.
So
Very
the first
different.
pieces were 99 and sold out. So if somebody likes the watch, will you make more of these pieces?
Not on the 99. So the idea we said is, and this is probably where the whole idea of project versus brand comes from. We wanted it to be a fun project for us and for our friends, but it looks like we have a lot of friends, so we're getting to have more and more friends now that the
Need to make more projects.
So the idea was to say, okay, maybe we do with each case itineration 700-800 pieces all together, but we want the projects to be fundamentally different. But within the first collection, that was very funny how we sold it initially, because people saw it on our wrists and said, "Oh, what is this? Can I have this?" And said, "Yeah, you can. Here's the invoice." And I said, "Can I have a picture?" No. "Can I know when it's going to be delivered?" No. You just trust us, so we trust you. So that's friendship.
Well, extortion depends how twisted.
Thank you, Marco. Yeah, fair deal. So number two normally end of April. Then it's also for me a bit of we have a project. We call it the Retailers Project, because a lot of the people I work with in the industry really even bought. You know, we have Laurent, Chrono Passion, and a few others. I just name him because he's always been very supportive. And when you have these people coming to you and saying, "Okay, I want that. I want this for me, but I also want this for my clients." So we have this idea to say maybe we do a retailer's edition.
It's not that once we start project 2, project 1 will be completely dead. We might or might not in the future revisit it, modify a few things, chapter 2 of project 1, that kind of thing. So like if we think the concept is strong enough, there's always room to like evolve and try out new things.
I agree.
And is the idea of this project or the next one complications? So you want to keep it more simple, or
I mean,
because you come from very different fields, but also you like complicated watches more or less as well.
We have no limitation. This is a very, very important element.
Depends on the mood boards, I guess.
It depends. It depends also on the movements. It maybe also depends on the people with whom we do the movements. I would say we wanted first and foremost to make something accessible, portable, but different. So this idea of price positioning to be in a price point where a lot of people can actually afford it was important for us. And this is also why we didn't like this kind of brand, because a brand has a frame. Projects don't have frames. You just pile up projects and they create an environment. When you do a brand, you try to fit into kind of...
You set the tone, the colors, the fonts.
Everything is possible. It could be like a much cheaper watch or a crazy more expensive watch. I think nothing is...
I'm looking forward to crazy expensive.
You'll get the flick-flack one.
Awesome, guys. So, but on this point, what's the price point of this watch?
You're the numbers guy.
I'm the numbers guy. Apparently, I'm the one who has to talk for that. No, the initial friends and family was 2,333 and 33 cents because I thought that this is good marketing. Second edition is 2,666 and
66 cents.
there we go. In regards to how much more we will have to pay for the dial now that our supplier has also understood how much work goes into
Yeah, I'm
it.
sure.
It works both ways.
The price
It was a first for him as well. Huh? I mean,
Yeah.
a first for anybody at this point.
This was a bit the bracket because of the complexity, because of the toolings, which are very, I mean, we had to do tools for this watch. And then also the complexity of the sapphire crystal, complexity of the assembly, and the movement, the G100 from La Joux-Perret is a very good movement.
I mean, I'm excited to see more, especially the high-end stuff or the low-end stuff. We'll see.
Or simply project number 2.
Or project number 2
project
or number 1/2, who knows?
Yeah, I wanted to speak about that because it's project number 1, version A, and then the next one is version B, and then we have 26 letters.
But it might come. It might come in 5 years, right? Not next one.
No, the B comes end of April, and then C probably still this year, and then we see.
Okay.
Contrary to a lot of other brands that kind of only sell direct to consumer as well.
Yeah.
We wanted to make sure that every time we launch something, we actually have the watches ready to ship. And we're not looking for crowdfunding. We're not looking for like pre-orders so we can estimate how many pieces we should produce. Like we put our cojones on the table.
Yeah.
And we go for it. And this is why we were supposed to be ready already before Watches and Wonders. But from the experience we had with the friends and family stuff, we noticed a couple of little technical things not visible from the outside, but a couple of technical things that were like, okay, we can make it a bit better. So of course that adds some time. And we decided, let's just wait for everybody to get over what new Rolex and Patex are coming out with, and then we'll launch it when things
We
are
all have a bit of an OCD.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you for coming
Thanks
and
for having
sharing
us
your
again.
project with me.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for
the
having
audience
us.
as well.
Thank you.
And guys, if you have some questions, just send a message to them. I'm gonna put all the links in the description below. The pricing, how the project and the watch now, how it looks from all the details. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.